Good evening, everyone. Commissioners, welcome to April 26th Art and Public Places Commission meeting. We have come to start at 7:01 p.m. and I call to order. If I may have a roll call, please, Joe, of everyone in attendance.
Sure. Genevieve.
Here.
David.
On mute, but I'm here.
I see you. Cynthia.
Here.
Barbara.
Here.
And Chris is on her way.
Yep.
Oh, and me here.
Joe's here.
Joe's here.
Fabulous. May I ask at this time for a review of the agenda? And if there are no questions or concerns, that we have a motion to approve the agenda, please.
I will. Oh,
Go ahead, Barbara.
Hi, I make a motion.
I'll second that.
Fabulous. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Okay. Did everybody review the minutes from March 29th, 2022? And if anybody has any questions, concerns, or comments, let's have them now before we ask for a motion for approval. Okay. I make a motion to approve the minutes from March 29th, 2022. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, David. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Wonderful. Thank you. Okay, we will start with old business. And first up is Poet Laureate. I know Barbara's got some good updates if she'd like to deliver them.
Yes, thank you, Genevieve. Wonderful news from Maggie. Last Friday, she had her adult event, Poetry Musings, for Poetry Month. And there are 40 people who attended and about 15 who read their poetry. The featured poets, Stuart Moss and Olivia Braley, each presented their own work for about 15-20 minutes. Then it led to an open mic portion, and they had a great variety of poems and a lot of speakers ranging from the ages of 20 to up to 60 plus. So it was really wonderful, and people have gone up to her and said they wanted to know when she was going to have the next one, which is great news for us. The next event is the pavement poetry on Thursday. And if you guys can make it, it'll be wonderful. I think, Genevieve, is it downtown? Did we finally make a determination where she was going to put the poetry?
She did send me a list of some different places that she's going to go to with her students on Thursday. And it's kind of a condensed area due to time. But then outside of that, she's going to do it randomly in different places. So best bet would be connect with Maggie to meet up with her because she'll know where she's going. I think if any of the commissioners want to join her.
Yeah, and definitely follow her on Facebook. She's doing a great job of posting things. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Barbara. For gallery updates, I sent the gallery list out again to everyone with a link in the email full of the information for tonight's meeting. If you have any questions or concerns, Audrey Lee is still operating as our I guess temporary is not the right word, but as our gallery coordinator. And currently hanging at Pip Moyer is the Bates PVA students' work. And they used birds as their inspiration. So that's up. And sadly, they're having the opening reception tonight. That was already planned before I knew of the date. So I let them know that we're having our monthly meeting and we can't come, but please feel free to stop by Pip Moyer, and they promised to get me pictures. So I'll put those up on our social media and share. Also, Gigi's Playhouse was put into the City Hall gallery today, and it's up and ready for viewing. Their reception is going to be May 9th before the city council meeting. And the mayor will be presenting the 15 artist citations from the city. So if everybody can come, that would be wonderful too. And that starts at 5 o'clock. It's 5 to 7. And those are my gallery updates for now. Proposed mural updates. I don't have any new proposals right now currently. We just approved the minutes, so the funding for the mural that we approved at in March will begin. Also, the Maritime Museum mural that we offered funding for is being painted currently. So if anybody would like to go over and watch it in process, that is going up.
Cool.
So then we move on to grant updates. Joe, do we have anything? I don't have anything at this moment, so. No.
I do not.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, we probably should have a subcommittee meeting and try to line some stuff up.
Mhm.
Or
One-
see
one
if
thing-
we can.
Yeah, and that's fine. And actually, classes are over after this week, and things kind of open up. So,
Yeah.
and it did actually occur to me just the other day, like I didn't look it up yet, but the Bloomberg program, is that happening again? The
street art one.
yeah, the one that we applied for last year.
I'll have to take a look. Yeah, I think that's what we need to do is sit down and
Yeah.
focus. Yeah.
Yeah, I
it's-
agreed.
Mhm.
But
And
that cycle, since we applied for it before,
Yeah.
and the webinar I went to more or less said just keep applying. So
yeah, yeah,
if the city is still interested, we might try and revive that.
yeah. Well, studies still say having painted pavement creates spaces and slows traffic, they say. So I think it's something that we should still entertain and look at.
Hey, Genevieve.
yes,
and,
well-
Joe. Actually, I remember I mentioned, I may have
Oh,
mentioned
yes.
to you before. The
Yeah.
gentleman, a friend of mine, who was interested in like helping in grant writing. We'd love to be
Oh,
on a
yeah.
commission, but he doesn't live in the area. But he wants to get involved in the arts, and something grant writing is something he's interested in. So
Yeah.
if you decide to have a subcommittee meeting, let me know, and I'll see if we can get him involved.
Great, thanks.
Cool.
Yeah, I meant to ask you about that last month. I forgot.
I'm here to help.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. If we can connect with him, the subcommittee grant,
Excellent.
can meet and then see what he's thinking and then have him possibly come talk to us too at a future meeting. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That way everybody knows, can meet him and have a chat. Sorry, I'm trying to send Krista the link to sign on. Hold on. I apologize for this brief pause here. Okay. All right, well, that sounds like a plan. So David, if you could hook up that meeting, that'd be good. Okay. Public outreach updates. David has the connection with the grant writer. And our Annapolis Arts, we do not have a new meeting currently on the books, but when we do, I'll let everybody know. But we are intending to move forward, and that is part of finding projects and grant funding that we can all apply for too. So that will help us with that, having all the art entities in Annapolis together to talk about their needs and their programming. So hopefully we'll have another meeting in May, I think is what we were shooting for. April was kind of busy for April and for Visit Annapolis. So that takes us to the budget. I have had communication about the 45,000 and some, well, it's $45,750 that was not carried over from our 2020 fiscal year into our fiscal year budget for 2022 with both the mayor's office, finance office, legal department, and city council. And I am told that a special request has to be made by council, go through council for them to supplement that money back to us. So it's a process. It's a paperwork process. And I talked to Ellie today, and she said that she believes it's being taken care of, but she would look into it and keep us updated. So,
Genevieve, is that something we'd have to do, or are they sort of in motion?
it's not something that we have control
Okay.
of. Yeah.
Yeah, I was reading through your email. I just want to make sure I understood. It was kind of like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Kinda confusing. Okay.
Yeah. So finance would file the supplement for reappropriation to council, and then council has to go through the motions of approving.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's in the works. And then I also attached in the email, I'm not sure if everybody opened it up, but saw what the proposed amount is to come to us for fiscal year 2023. And that, I believe, is due to the legislation that Sarah and I passed through for having the hotel tax 3% fund arts and public places. So it's going to be a really nice, healthy budget. And if we get that other $45,750 too, it'll well fund us to kick off the Westgate Circle sculpture.
Woo.
Yes, thank gosh. And
You know, 2 signs that are up are not permanent.
I know. Yes. Yeah. So I made a joke to David the other day, and I said, with the 2 new parking signs on Westgate Circle, I'm like, hey, the new sculpture's in, we're good. So it was a joke though.
Are those
Do
for,
not-
I couldn't see it because I come through Spy Road, I couldn't read the front of it, so I don't know
Yeah.
what they say.
Yeah.
That's
It
funny.
just-
I thought, oh, it's conceptual art, like, or something.
See,
Yeah.
see, Joe has my same sense of humor. Yeah, it just says that, downtown is still open, even though, the Hillman Garage is closing.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, and that there are other ways to find parking, and there's a whole new website too that they have produced that can help people answer questions and find out
Gotcha.
where parking is. And there's a big new pink bus that will take everybody downtown from the parking garages and the circulator and for free and all that good stuff. So
Gotcha. Cool.
yeah, and I believe the parking garage at Park Place is offering a discount too. So, but the website says everything, and I'm sorry I don't have the website off the top of my head, or I'd spill it out right now for everybody. But
Quite all right.
yes, so that's what those signs are. That has nothing to do with AIPPC, sadly. But back to the budget. So I would like to start moving forward with that, and I still would like Joe to find grants to help us and to possibly get the state and county involved in the sculpture too. Make it a joint effort. That way it doesn't use all of our budget, and we can still put it into other aspects of the city like we have been for the past couple of years that we've had a budget. So any questions about the current budget? So finance told me that we currently, without the 45, we have $20,000 to spend, to appropriate before fiscal year 2023 starts, which is July 1st. Just so everybody knows, that's where we're at.
That the increase, the very nice glow up we're getting, is that, I know it'll fluctuate, right? Because it's kind of based on hotel tax, but is that roughly sort of what we would expect?
Yes. Yeah. And that's coming off of, the pandemic too. So,
Yeah.
if,
yeah, that's true.
yeah, it could go up, and you have to think too, we're also getting a whole nother hotel at some point that's slated to go in. So
Ooh,
yeah. Over by the police station. So hopefully that continues to move forward and goes in, and then, anything else. And that is another thing about public outreach. I forgot. I have a meeting next week coming up with Visit Annapolis outside of the Art Charrette Roundtable for the comprehensive planning, to talk about them helping us marketing and pushing. So basically, my whole pitch with the legislation was that if we could have more money and do more things, we will attract more people, which creates more hotel tax and more revenue for everybody. So they're going to help us because they are doing advertising at the BWI. So when you come into BWI, you'll see some advertising from Visit Annapolis on the screens. So we would like to start seeing some things like our summer programming and so forth being flashed up there, maybe even our murals or something,
Mhm.
So we're gonna brainstorm on that. So, alrighty. Anything else about the budget? Any questions about old business or extra comments? Okay, then we can go into new business. And we have presenting first Eric Lund from Annapolis Pride Festival. And so we can bring him into the meeting, please. Hi, Eric. You can go ahead and unmute yourself and I'll let you go ahead and present.
Okay, how you doing, everyone?
Good.
Thank you for your time today. I can share my screen, right? I do have a small, just a PowerPoint presentation, nothing complicated, just about 5 minutes, just to walk through Annapolis Pride, what we're doing for the festival and what we're asking from you. So I'll just go ahead and do that, if that's okay. Okay, can everybody hear me? Well,
Yes, I hear
okay,
you.
great. Okay.
We're just all muted, so.
Oh, yeah. Annapolis Pride, we started in 2000, around 2018 was our planning when we started organizing. And we, of course, had our first festival in 2019, just prior to the pandemic, and had good and surprising success, that even more, I think, than we expected. But it, as people learning, we found out some things that we need to do, and we're working to hopefully engage with some new stuff this year. So just as a little runabout, I just have a little 45-second video to remind everybody of what happened.
Showing your pride. We're going to get started in just a minute. If you want to come up and say hello, maybe get some beats, please feel free. If you want to send a vodka soda up to Miss Troy, you'll even free her. Thank you guys so much. Let's party!
So I just wanted to sort of share that as a little reminder of sort of what happened a couple of years ago and how we were very happy with the results and everything. But the thing is, I also want to point out that although that's our main public face of what we see, that's not everything we do. We do, although the Pride Parade was our main thing, we are all locals of Annapolis, and so we are very much into the community building and outreach that we do. We have been engaging with the city on many levels, from working with the police department, working with local libraries, the public school system, and many other variables, and some charitable organizations locally to help with the expansion and the visibility of the LGBT community. One of the things we do is have been providing a lot of a social scene, from happy hours to single nights at some of the theaters, to drag story time performances with the library, coffee shop gatherings and things like that. One of the comments we get a lot with that is kind of bringing in some more entertainment elements to things that we do. So we have started to become very aware of this. This is something that's definitely on our radar of what we do. So we had discovered that there was one area that we found we were kind of excelling in this and sort of brought a new niche market to Annapolis, to I think a lot of people's surprise, was when we started our fundraising, which started as a fundraising idea. We started having the drag brunches at Ram's Head, and we did a number of them, and they were highly successful. In fact, it got to the point where Ram's Head was selling out like within 24 hours of opening up the ticket sales. And we found that as someone in the arts community, I started to watch how this was affecting us, and I started to see a sort of evolution as we went on with this. And what we sort of had was the drag brunches started here. And after about a year, we started to see what we hoped to be sort of an incubator thing for us, was we might inspire local businesses and the community to just start taking over, engagement and sort of the activities we are doing. And so like right now, like Edie's, the Brass Tap, they do Friday night drag bingos, they do things like that. That sort of has become a regular thing. We now have started to engage with the Kinsey Six, which is this group here, which also stars now an Annapolis local, JB McClendon, who graduated from Severin School, is now part of them. They are actually a nationally known tour group. They perform regularly at Puerto Vallarta during the season. They go to Key West. They go to Rehoboth. They perform pretty much throughout the country. They are a cappella group. They are actually a 4-part harmony a cappella group that provides they started to see, and JB, since he knows many people locally, was like, hey, this thing's happening now, I see in Annapolis. So we started talking to him, and we sort of used our connections that we had advised at Ram's Head, and they are now making their first performance in Annapolis at Ram's Head on June 1st. So we're kind of neat. We think that was kind of neat to sort of see a cycle of entertainment from some locals and some new groups starting to be brought in to the city. And just as another example of what's happening on now with sort of this genre of entertainment, we now have got notice a couple weeks ago that the group Queens on the Queen will be doing a drag cruise on the bay. So we're finding to see that it's expanding, and we were kind of glad to sort of be a little bit of the incubator for some of that. And we've been trying to stay in that role because a lot of them come to us because we can help promote. We have a connection to the community and we can help promote that. After our festival and our success with the fundraising and the shows, we did a survey post last year's the 2019 festival, and sort of the two things we got back most was people wanted some more drag entertainment. That's very new to it. That was new to Annapolis, and we may be oversaturating the market, I'm not sure, but a lot of it was also more bands, more music, more DJing, more sort of that type of entertainment that we could bring through, and with the performing arts. So we've kind of taken that to heart, and we're trying to build up with some of that. What we've done this year is we have expanded our festival space. So we have now moved behind Ram's Head, the parking lot out behind Ram's Head. So that's adding more space to us. And we're looking to use 3 main performance spaces this year. The People's Park, the Calvert Courtyard, and Weissman, which are pretty the standard ones. The People's Park will be more of our main stage show, of course, and the Courtyard and the Weissman Park will sort of be more of our acoustic and our smaller venues for things there. The entertainment list we're looking at, which is probably the hard numbers you guys are probably interested in. We've come up with these main ones right now. We are currently in development of this list, but this is where we have settled currently. We have been vetting. I understand that that part of your focus would obviously be, we're assuming, on local entertainment, which I'm not sure if there are boundary limits. We sort of look at it as ourself as a group as Annapolis City and Anne Arundel County. That's sort of what we consider our organization to be focusing on geographically. These from the contact things, these lists are all from Annapolis or Anne Arundel County. The only ones that I haven't gotten confirmation on are DJ Fairman and 2 of the drag performers. I can get that for you, but we understand that you may need us to focus on those elements, and we are perfectly willing to do that. One of the things that does help in any of this regard allows us to sort of take money that we do have some budget for this, obviously. But that would allow us to do a little bit of more outreach that hopefully with people wanting more entertainment, we hope that Annapolis Pride is already starting to become a draw into the city. That's not just locals. In fact, we've been surprised at how much we're hearing, like Baltimore residents came down to Annapolis Pride and DC residents came up. And that's something we want, because we're hoping to drive business and stuff to the city. And obviously entertainment is a huge part of that on a festival day. So one of the other things we are looking at, I don't know whether this is within your purview or not, is our AV support. We use Pretty Music Academy, which you may be familiar with from the First Sunday festivals. They are education studio for music education. They do amazing stuff with kids and education and music in the music world and stuff. And we are using them, and actually they are some of the bands that we're performing. The Pretty family has a couple of LGBT members of their community, so they've been very active in helping supporting us, and so they're giving us some good deal on some of the help support they want to provide for the 3 staging areas. With that, just sort of covering those areas, with the future of this, regardless of how this comes out, we are looking, part of the reason we want this is so that we also have a little more budget going forward into the next year. This is our huge expense, so we tend to have a big sort of budget dip after we put on Pride. But one of the discussions that happened during the pandemic, we were trying to figure out things to do when Pride got canceled. And we started to talk about art installations. Like, should we, during October, which is National LGBTQ Month, or National Coming Out Day, or Trans Awareness Week, we started to talk about, like, should we start doing art installations around town that would bring awareness and educate the community, and also just help local artists, because that we have a number of art-oriented people on our board and in our community. So that's something I hope that this won't be the first time you see me or someone from Annapolis Pride. So I'm hoping this will be a little more of an ongoing thing that we can sort of keep in contact with, regardless of how what individual thing comes out. So I just want to thank you for that. I wanted to just give you a little overview. Please, any questions you want, I am happy to answer.
Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Lund?
Do you have a rain date in the event that
We do not. We are a rain or shine day.
Right.
Just coordinating with the city, that's a little hard to block off another day, and such. One of the things we've been talking about was whether we would shift the venue to like downtown or anything. That's going to be more of a future date. But this year, because of the coming out of the pandemic, we just decided to keep it simple to something we knew from the first year. And when you get things we're learning, had we gone bigger or anything, it's hard enough to move just where we are and grab another spot in the city's calendar. So
okay, cool. Thank you.
Sure.
Any other questions? Okay, so on the list, the total for the local entertainment, it was 4,000. Was it 4,100?
75.
75. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay.
I can send the formal list. I think Joe has it in.
I did share it with everybody. Yeah, I just didn't have it open in front of me, and I was trying to remember watching your slides. Sorry. So, yeah, I sent the presentation out to everybody earlier so that everybody's got it in their inbox.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have a motion for support at this time?
I'll make that motion.
And for how much, Joe?
41.75 to support live entertainment at the Pride Festival.
I second the motion. Could you do a roll call count for vote, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
David,
Aye.
Genevieve,
Aye.
Carissa,
Aye.
Cynthia,
Aye.
and Barbara.
Aye.
And Joe. Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you so much for presenting, Eric. And I will call you and have a side conversation with you about how our billing and payout and all that stuff works. So,
Okay.
and it's, you're already working with the city for permitting special permits and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
we just have to work with procurement to get you the money too. So I'll tell you how that works.
Oh,
But
wonderful. Thank you.
congratulations, though. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I
Yeah.
thought you had to like wait till next time to vote.
Yeah. No, we can vote. Yeah.
Well,
Thanks.
great. Thank you very, very much. Appreciate it. Thank you, everyone.
Have a good night.
You too.
Thank you. Okay. Next on the agenda is Maddie Fenton from MC3. Hi, Maddie.
Hi, everyone. How are you?
Good. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to go ahead and let you present your ask to us.
Okay, great. Thank you for having me tonight. My name's Maddie Fenton. I am one of the founders and artistic director of the company at MC3. And I think it's only fair to also say I'm the executive director at MC3, which, if you're not familiar with, is the Maryland Cultural and Conference Center. We're a nonprofit arts organization in Annapolis, located in Park Place. We own that huge outdoor stage where the Cars Beach mural is that Art in Public Places generously supported in the past. But I'm here today to talk to you about my company that I started back in 2020. I'm going to share my screen. Sure. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't have as much of an in-depth presentation as Eric does, but just a little bit on the company that I started. We are Annapolis's only professional modern dance company, and the mission and the vision behind the company is that while we have an extremely robust arts program and arts community here in Annapolis, one of the things that we've always been missing is a professional, modern, and contemporary dance company. So we formed it back in 2020. Since then, we've had over 14 performances throughout the state. We performed at Goucher, UMBC, Towson, and then all throughout Anne Arundel County. Some of the performances were virtual just because of the pandemic, but we're really filling our calendar for 2022 and looking into 2023. We've been invited to different dance festivals across the East Coast to perform. Currently, we have 11 dancers. I feel like everyone loves a teacher. So 5 of our dancers are actually teachers in Anne Arundel County Public School. 3 of us are from art-related fields in Annapolis. 2 are Baltimore-based dancers. And then 1 is a full-time student at UMD. One of our requirements for the company when they audition is that they must have a BFA in dance performance or dance education, or they must have a professional background in dance performance. So they dance professionally somewhere throughout the country. Aside from our student at UMD, she's working on her degree right now. We currently rehearse at Anne Arundel Community College. We also do an extensive amount of community outreach throughout Anne Arundel County Public Schools. We offer a free program for seniors in high school that are looking to pursue a career in dance, where we will work with them on their audition videos, preparing their audition solos, and we'll work with them one-on-one. And it's all free, it's all donation-based. The company is very philanthropic. For all of our last concerts, we donated all of our proceeds to causes that really mattered to us. So the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention was our main organization last year that we donated to, and we'll be doing that again this fall. You can follow us on Instagram with the company at MC3. Okay, long story short, basically what I'm here to talk to you about is this new project that I'm very, very excited. We launched it. We've been working on it for about 6 weeks, actually. It is titled Woman, and this is a full-length 60-minute dance production. It's 6 different sections, and it explores the rise of the female voice, specifically in the political world. We plan to present this at MC3's Stage 1 on June 25th. That is the main date right now, where we have it reserved. It's set aside. Our rain date would be Sunday, the 26th. I won't go through all of this. And Genevieve, I'll make sure I send this over to you. This is an update on kind of an outline of the piece for those of you that are interested in the artistic side of it. There's been an extensive amount of research that's been put behind this work. It's not just us coming together and choreographing on the spot. We've done a lot of time at the Maryland State Archives, a lot of in-depth research, one-on-one interviews. Essentially, there are not going to be any names or political affiliations that will be mentioned in the work, which I know could be risky. It's just a general overview of the rise of women and finding their place in the political field. All of the music will be set to female composer Zoe Keating, if you know her. We also included several real life, did you lose me? It just says my internet went out. Okay. Real life recordings from protests in the back, and then famous speeches that many of us know. And the newest section is we actually started interviewing some of our local female amazing elected officials that we have here in the city of Annapolis. Last week, I was able to interview Delegate Heather Bagnell. So her voice will be in it as well. And there's 3 or 4 others that I just sent out emails to request for interviews with as well. So I won't go through this, but you can see this is the timeline of the piece. It's about, there's so many different areas that we cover throughout it. I'll let you guys read that on your own time. And down to the good stuff. This is our request. And I'm sorry that Genevieve, I didn't send this to you earlier. There's just been a little bit of change in our request because we found out recently this week that we actually don't need to pay for rehearsal space. Anne Arundel Community College has generously donated their rehearsal space to us for the next year. So that took a big chunk out of our budget. So we cut it down to $2,000 as our request. The overall total budget for this is about $3,900. You can see there that our main request to Art in Public Places would be to pay the dancers stipend. I find it really important that we are paying our professional artists. They right now are here on a volunteer basis. They're not being paid for rehearsals. They're only being paid stipend fees for actual performances. The other thing I want to express is that while this is mainly for the one night at Stage 1 at MC3, we do have several other performance opportunities that we've been offered to perform at Annapolis Middle, Dining Under the Stars. We're working with Audrey Lee right now for 2 different nights where we would perform just small excerpts from the piece. Different art exhibits in town, including MC3, and then we are set up to perform at Towson University as well. The other thing I want to add is that this is we want to make the event accessible as possible so everybody can enjoy the arts. And so we're going to make it a donation-based event, so there will not be a ticket price for the entire performance. And that is all. Thank you. Are there any questions, concerns? I'm happy to answer anything.
Any questions for Maddie? Okay. I think this is a wonderful piece that you're doing, Maddie, and I love that you're taking it out publicly too, which is wonderful, for free, which is what we're big on. Do we have a motion?
I will say I'm looking very hard for a performance venue. Oh, sorry.
It's okay. So you're still looking for additional performance venues?
We would love to be able to perform this at an indoor venue as well, but as you know, the demand for performance spaces in Annapolis is significant with lack of spaces. So we do have some requests out to 3 different venues. That's all. But we are set at Stage 1 for June 25th.
Keep us posted.
Okay.
And as always, I'll help cross promote, on our social media platforms. So
thank you.
You're welcome. Do I have a motion to support the dancers stipends of 2,000.
I'll make a motion to support the troop for 2,000.
I'll
Thank
second
you,
it.
David. Thank you, Cynthia. May I have a roll call, please?
Genevieve,
This is Krista. I say aye.
Okay, thank you, Krista. Genevieve says aye too.
okay, David,
Aye.
Cynthia,
Aye.
Barbara,
Aye.
and Joe says aye. Motion passes unanimous.
Yay. Yay. Thank you,
Thank
Maddie,
you.
so much for all you do.
Great
And I'll-
work, Maddie.
Thanks, Cynthia. Thank you guys so much. This is really well appreciated. We're so grateful and we hope you'll come out and support us.
Definitely. Yep. And I'll give you a call about payment and everything.
And
Okay.
We'll be there.
Oh,
Yep.
good. I'll send you personal invitations.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Have a good rest of the week. Take care.
You too. Bye.
Thanks. Bye. Okay. Last on new business is the Juneteenth celebration. And in my email I sent out today, I sent a copy of Miss T's email to me with her ask in it. Last year we did fund all of the local performers with our grant gift that we gave to the Juneteenth celebration. This year it totals $6,400. We do have room for that I didn't get that. Could you try again? No, because I'm not talking to Siri. Does anybody have any questions about the email that she sent, the communication that she gave us, and the lineup that she has provided?
It just looks like she's up in her game a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Basically.
And
Yeah.
it's
Based on
much more.
last year's success.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I mean, it was amazing last year. I don't even know if she really needs to up the game, but she definitely has. So, you and I were there and it was a packed house and it was amazing. The 3 different stages. It was wonderful.
I know they did, and they have some things going on too, like a reception or something, if I read correctly, as well.
So the dinner, I think it's the night before, and I believe we just lost Maddie, but it's at MC3 again this year, I believe. Yeah, like it was last year.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well,
And-
this is a city-sponsored special event. And aren't there any funds through their city-sponsored special events or through the Community Development Block Grant Fund? I noted that was the CDBG fund is over $1 million. It seems to me that, a lot of these special events should go through the funding through the city-sponsored special events fund rather than through our funding. Because, this is a really big event, and it's the cost for the musicians is very high. The cost for the sound is $8,000. This is a very large event that is, I would say, be more proper through the office of the mayor or through some kind of funding through city-sponsored special events.
Well, a couple of things on that. I must say for 3 stages, $8,000 isn't that much, but that's just from my personal professional history of being in live entertainment. But the whole event is well over $250,000, just so everybody understands that. The small amount that she is asking from us to be one of the sponsors, because they're still looking for multiple sponsors, would be for the local entertainment as we supported last year. And that's $6,400. That doesn't include production costs. That's just the artist fees, which is generally the first thing that we try to get approved in order to support our local artists is their fees. I'm sure the community block grant, I'm sure there's stuff coming from that. The mayor's budget wouldn't do something like this. Tola for one in Annapolis is probably, I'm sure, a sponsor as well. But like I said, it's over $250,000 this year. So the ask of $6,400 is just a drop in her bucket. We're not actually supporting this whole event.
Well, since we have 4 upcoming city-sponsored special events and we just voted for 4,000 for one of them, I think we should have some equity here because I'd say 4,000 would be more in line, you know, and obviously for such a large event, they have the possibility to get other sponsorship besides our limited remaining budget of what, 20,000. So I would
I was trying to pull up their program. They had a list of their sponsors in their program. I was trying to find it.
Mm.
Just to see who they do have as sponsors. See if it's on their website. Donate sponsor, press. Yes. Yeah, they do have a list of sponsors on there. One of their applications: Crown Plaza, Sound, Anne Arundel County, City of Annapolis, MC3, and some other folks.
I would say to keep it equitable, we go with 4,000.
On that note, I think their overall budget is a lot. It's a bigger event and it's a lot bigger budget. So than Pride. And so we could also think of equity in terms of a kind of rough percentage of the overall budget, in which case, for me, I don't think that extra $2,000 is inequitable because it's going towards a much larger event with kind of more infrastructure and also I think a broader sponsorship base already. So I appreciate that the raising the issue of equity, but for me the events are not the same size or of the same scale. So it seems okay to me to kind of cover their costs in a way that's actually somewhat similar to what Pride just asked us to do.
Okay, so Cynthia has a motion on the floor to support them with 4,000. So we can either not give a second motion to move it forward to vote, or we can give a second and move it forward to vote and see if it passes. And then if it doesn't, then Joe could make a new motion. So,
Okay.
So do I have a second for the 4,000? Okay, so motion does not go to vote. Do I have a new motion on the floor to support Juneteenth?
I would move to support Juneteenth for $6,400.
Do I have a second?
David, I second. And I think, one of the benefits of that as well is that there's some promotion for us as well. through that, and that kind of brings a lot more.
Yeah.
I think even more awareness on the community that we exist. So I think there's a sort of added benefit to that as well for us. So I second the motion.
Yeah, they did give us our logo in their print.
Yeah, we would qualify for one of their package. I think it's the silver package or something like that.
Yep. Yes. Yeah. But they put it in their brochure too for the
Right.
dinner, and at the event they gave us promotion from the stage too. So
Yeah, we're in between the gold and silver sponsorship package. So
maybe she'll bump us up.
there you go.
We'll ask Miss T what she can do. Okay, so we have a second. Let's go to a vote, please.
Sorry, I was writing.
That's
okay. Genevieve,
Aye.
David,
Aye.
Joe, aye. Krista,
Aye.
thank you. Cynthia,
I'm going to say no, because I think for the second year of this event that's going to be going on every year, I think it's a very ambitious jump to just a higher category. And I just don't think that I'm going to support that.
Okay.
yep, and Barbara.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-1.
Okay. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, everyone. I did before I open discussion, but now we're into open discussion. I did forget one thing for the public outreach. I did do a morning interview on Fox 45 to promote Poetry Month, and Maggie couldn't, she was out of town, so she couldn't do the interview. So I sat in for her, and that was great. So hopefully more people are coming to look for the hidden poetry, and that they're going to come and see the poetry on the pavement as well. So, and I did promote the poetry reading, the musings at Art Farm. So I would love to keep any news channel that wants to, keep us in the loop, and we can promote our events coming up. So that would be a good outreach thing for us to work on too, doing more press and stuff. Then the other thing I zoomed right by because I was just all excited about the budget was our summer programming. So I did send the Google Doc out to everybody. I know, I can't believe I
You remember that? a little event we got going on. Yeah, okay.
A couple things this summer, flew right over it. So I sent it out to everybody, the lineup. There's some new entertainment on there in addition to some of our favorites. I broke it down to make kind of easier for people to know when their favorite type of music is going to be. So every first Sunday is going to be Big Band Sundays. The second Sunday is our youth talent showcases, and we have during Arts Week we have Malcolm Yates, and he's going to have a bunch of youth from the community performing down at City Dock. So that's going to be fun and amazing. And then the third Sunday will be Jazz Sundays. And then the last Sunday of every month, like it always was with salsa, but we've expanded it this year with working with Laura Gutierrez and the Latino community from the mayor's office for outreach. We've added a couple, 2 additional performances before salsa will start. So, and that's every last Sunday. And I want to say that the Youth Talent Showcase in July will be the Hood to Good with Kenny Starks. And that's the youth group that has performed down at City Dock with us before. Multi-talented, the rappers, singers, DJs, and bands. And then the Youth Talent Showcase in August, which is on my birthday, but is Carousel Band and some more additional acts from the community, our youth. So it's really diversified this year, and I'm really excited about this programming. And I think we're going to see some an uptick in our numbers down there, not just on every last Sunday for salsa, but I think we're going to see more of our community coming together down the city dock, which is exactly what it was created. Does anybody have any questions for me on the lineup?
Is the lineup, and I guess the question is, and I saw your Excel spreadsheet, is it in some sort of, I guess, decorative way, so photographs we can put it on social media?
Yes, so that's the other thing. Ashley, I want to mention that Ashley's already drawn up all the contracts for these. As soon as we approve it, they will go out and people will sign it, so everybody's good to go. But additionally, Mitchell has already done graphics and promotional marketing for us, so that will hit the city websites and our social media, as well as, like I said, I'm trying to work with Visit Annapolis to get us some marketing spots for the summer programming. And hopefully we'll get into the media. We can do the Capitol and the TV news stations, and I can use all my resources for that. And
so we get a copy of that too? Well,
yeah, I'll send it out to everybody. Yeah, I just didn't want to send them out yet because we
got it. Understood. Yeah,
we didn't approve it yet. So.
Yeah, no,
because then it gets shared, and then I'm like, no,
right?
Don't share it yet.
Cool.
Any other questions?
Nope.
And then,
but I would say I love a good spreadsheet, and that's impressive.
Thank you. Thank you. I forgot to mention too, I'm sorry, that Tango is every second Friday too. So it's not just on Sundays. So Tango is coming back. He couldn't do June, so we bumped his night down to September. So Tango will be July, August, and September, the second Friday. So that is still on there too. Okay. If there isn't any other questions, can I get a motion, please, to approve the summer programming?
I make a motion to approve our summer program.
Thank you, David. Do I have a second, please?
I second it.
I second it. It's Krista.
Yay, we have a third. Thank you, lady. Okay. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Well, there we go. Unanimous. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm super stoked for this year, and just all stay healthy and the weather stay beautiful, and we're gonna have a fun summer. So
Cool.
it'll be good. Okay. Now we can open it up to regular open discussion. Anybody have something for open discussion?
Technically, this is also old business, but I just looked. We are not eligible for Bloomberg this year because they are focusing their program this year on cities in Europe. So,
well, let's move.
Can we move? Can we relocate?
We'll just pick up Annapolis and move.
I'm sure somebody knows somebody overseas. We can go hang out with them for a couple of months.
Just for a year. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for checking, Joe. Bummer. All right. Well, we'll sit down and brainstorm and try to find others.
I do, and you made me think about Westgate Circle. I know one of the approaches of Westgate Circle is to sort of stand up a couple of committees. Is that something we should start?
Yeah, so it's one committee. It would consist of 3 people from the commission and 3 people from the community.
Right.
And it would be Ward 1, Ward 2, and was it 3 or 4? No, I'm sorry, it's 4. So it'd be, no, I have to look at the district map again. Let me double check the maps, because at one point there was a section of Westgate Circle that was in Ward 2. And then with the new maps that I just looked at, it's all in Ward 1. So let me double check. So if it's not in Ward 2, then it's Ward 1, grants with Joe, and then David is vice chair, because I'm also chair in Ward 1. So I would like somebody else there to like balance it so they don't think I'm being biased because I'm Ward 1. And then 3 from the community. So yes, we need to work that out with legal, and also just start the whole funding process works with procurement. And I've already started the conversation with them, because they would be the buyers, because it will be city property, because we want it to be a permanent installation this time.
Right.
So, and they will do all the drafting up of the language and for the proposals, for the call for proposals, the request for proposals. So.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's something that we can start. I don't know if we want to wait until the budget is approved fully, officially. But we, as far as drafting up the request for proposal, because that would have in it how much we're willing to contribute and what we're looking for and all that kind of stuff. So maybe we wait on that. We can start a draft, but we don't plug in numbers, but we can start the committee, the subcommittee probably.
Yeah, just like maybe just kind of outline some names, maybe start tossing around some folks, or maybe figuring out
Yeah.
ways to get individuals.
Yeah.
Just because, kind of get people on par. Because I know it's going to take a minute for all this kind of to go through and grant money and the whole bit. So
Yeah.
we just, we start and kind of, grease the skids a little bit.
Yeah. So we can do the subcommittee and we can start talking about the structure and if we want the state and county to partner and who else we would go to and all that stuff. So we could get the conversation going. And then that would help us to draft up all the proposals and stuff, language.
Gotcha. Cool.
Okay. Put that at the top of my list. Anybody else for open discussion? Okay. Alrighty then. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Second, third, fourth, fifth, everybody.
Cool.
All those in favor?